So in this video, you may recall from the last video we just demonstrated, we talked about the need for pre-portioning or pre-allocating raw materials to production officers. So let's assume they have a quota, and from that quota they are able to pick up items, raw materials as they need it. Then they can produce and handle requests as they come, and obviously serve customers. That's through the cashier who takes the request as processed from the production officers. So the aim here is to optimize operations at the production level, to also ensure that production officers are fully aware that they are being their performance is being tracked, and they can ensure that they optimize raw materials for maximum outcome. So I'm just so here we're going to create a product more like an item that is not particularly based on composition per se. It's just a service item, an item that exists on its own in the system. So that item, it is possible to sell this item and notify the system, the production officer that produced or that attended to the item. So if you recall, we have included some items. We've added some portions of raw materials to a particular production officer, and now we're looking at a scenario where the production officer is attending to maybe a special category of salad. So if you come under inventory here, we have product and service. So product and service item allows us to actually develop as many SKUs as possible, as many variations as possible. It's not required to create compositions from this. So if you have any new requests placed by a customer, any type of request can be created. Let's say, for example, we have kidney and pepper mix with ginger. Just just an example. So we know that this is going to cost 1,500. And then we have this is sold per plate. So if you want the price to be adjustable at point of sale, we can select the variable cost. But here now we are assuming that it is being sold for 1,500. So what happens next is to add this service item to the system. So as many service items as possible can be included in the system, just to match with all the variations that come up every time. So what happens here is that we can allocate all the raw materials that is needed to produce this. If there is a particular production officer, raw materials can be allocated in bulk, in phases to them, and then once that is done, we want to track how well they can produce these items that are under services, that are created just on the fly to be attended to. So what we have here is we can go to the point of sale, and you recall that we can sell anything out of the point of sale. So there's a function here called services. So under services, you will see salad. There could be several other key categories of the business, available in this section. So once you press that, you will see all the options that fall under salad category. So, but here now, we can see a particular type of salad, and then we can select that we want to sell one of that based on the customer's request. So we just created that salad type just now, and now we're trying to sell it. So what we are doing in this mode is trying to sell. We can the cashier who is capturing the payment, serving the customer, is also able to capture the user, that's the production officer's account, who attended to the order. So I know that you have produced this plate from the raw materials that are portioned to you as your quota. So what happens next is that this can be posted like any other sales transaction, and once this is posted, it goes into the system, and but there is no composition in this one, if you recall. So the system is not automatically managing raw materials. The raw material is actually just being pre-allocated to production officers who are required to make optimal use of the raw materials. So what we're just going to have here is another scenario in which, under reports, we have what we call staff product attendant sales report. So what happens here is that we want to track what the different so if I come under the account of this say Femi here, we can look at the fact that we can see all the raw materials that have been allocated or proportioned to Femi. So, and what the system will do is to look at all the cost of the materials that have been received by this particular production officer, and it will total it, and then it will look at the how much of that is used for processing. If there is any usage of that, it will total it, and then it will also look at the sales. Like, for example, now we just sold kidney and pepper mixed with ginger salad, and then that is 1,500 naira. So what the system is doing, is trying to do, is that it's trying to compare how much of production is coming out of a particular officer as against how much of raw materials is being allocated to that production officer. So you could see here now that by totaling the sales, we have 4,300 naira worth of sales that has been produced by this production officer known as Femi. This person is different from the cashier. This is not the cashier. Cashier is a separate account who just posts who attends the customer. So the production officer is the one handling, processing the food and getting it ready for the customer, and they are also the ones picking up raw materials. So here we can track the sales, and then we can track the gross profits. So what is happening here is that we're looking at the amount of raw material that has been used, and then we're looking at the sales for that day. We're looking at the total raw materials, we're looking at the gross profit, then we're looking at the net profit. So what the production officer here wants to do is to absolutely ensure that the total sales that they output for that day is much higher than it's going to produce a more positive net profit for the business, so that there is no wastage as far as that production officer is concerned. So there could be other metrics that could be derived from this, but this just gives another illustration of another idea that can be used to track wastage at the level of production for the business. So the other things we're going to explore in the coming video will focus on store-to-store transfer of services and of inventory from one head office to another store, and that will also come up after now. So Thank you.